This verse for the black woman, the queen of the household, the backbone, the survival, the one who carried generations through the darkest trials. When the world was cold, she was the warmth. When the family broke, she held the farm. When fathers were absent, she carried the weight. Working 2 jobs, still putting food on plates. Who taught us our first words? Who wiped away our tears? Who prayed over our beds and fought away our fear? The black woman deserves protection and respect, not abuse, not neglect, not betrayal, not disrespect. If she suffers, the family suffers. If the family suffers, the community suffers. And if the community suffers, the future suffers. So every real man listening, honor your mother, protect your daughter, love your sister, cherish your wife. Because a community that protects its women protects its future. Wake up, black people.
I want to come up to this thing, man. Wake up, black people. All right, hey, this is Under the Groove Podcast. We doing what we do. You know, we're coming in here. It's Tuesday. Welcome, everybody. Friday, I missed to get down, man, but it was for a good purpose, a good cause, man. We celebrated my wife's birthday, man. We had a great time. It was spectacular, even fantastic, if I might say so myself. But, yeah, we did that over the weekend. We had a lot of fun, you know, a lot of loved ones, family, you know, just family, man, and friends, you know, and we had a great time. So I thought about everybody, man, over the weekend. I hate missing Friday. I hate missing yesterday, Monday. Yesterday was actually the birthday for my wife. And, hey, you know, we sat around, man, just did what we do, you know. But here I am. Yeah, wake up, black people. That's how I want to come into that, man. I hope I did all right with everybody. It's good to be up in here. I see you, Donald Davis. What up with you, brother? It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on. I've been offline just a couple of days, actually. But, man, in that time, in that space, a lot has occurred. And I'm noticing that, you know, we're doing what we're supposed to do for the most part. And people are recognizing that we are making this shift and they're worried, which is another thing. That's good in and of itself. Ain't nothing wrong with that. They're supposed to be worried, but not to the extent where they want to label what we're doing now as racism, right? So I ain't buying it, man. I ain't buying the excuse now or the statement, you know, of what they're alleging. Not only that, but I'm not buying nothing from them. So, you know, none of it gonna sell with me. How is it racism when, you know, a demographic decides that, okay, you know what, we have to do group economics. We have to do what they call a wealth transfer. You know, we have to make sure that we're okay because no one else will. And if we decide to do that, how is that in any way, shape, or form labeled racism? And I mention that, I bring that up because in terms of what the Asians are doing, is being said that they're going back to the anti-Asian bill. And as a result of it, they are trying to insert in that thing a clause that says if you boycott Asians, it's anti-Asian, you know, it's racism. And I'm like, oh man, let me see if that fly. But you can't put nothing past them, y'all. Let's call it duck a duck and a strike a strike. If they see fit or they pay enough, you know, wet enough palms, they might attempt to try that shit, you know. And it should come as no surprise to anybody because, again, when we talk about what's taking place or what's happening in the world, we have to know that all this is, whether we see it or not on the face of it, it involves us. We are involved in it. No matter how you see it, man, or how you look at it, it will always come back to us, black people in America, the chosen, the true chosen, you know. So that being said, let's be aware, man. Let's be mindful of what others are attempting to do, because I'm telling you, the fix is in. The fix is in. We no longer label it or call it a boycott. That's dead. That's old. You know, this is about wealth transfer. This is about group economics, to where we are going to make sure that, to the best of our ability, we can bring our money back to our people, have it circulate in our, let's be honest, neighborhoods right now, because we haven't formulated which is okay, but It's in this script. I imagine for most of us, developing what is really representative of a community. See, if we don't have a community, again, man, there's a lot of pieces to this motor, man, to make this thing go. We have to have a community to make it viable. We can say, okay, my neighborhood, my set, my block, whatever. That's one thing. But when you're talking about a community, that entails a whole lot more. That means that these people are working together in these areas, which would consist of a community. So let's be mindful of that. Let's be mindful of that. Hey, man, we have to not just establish, but continue to build a community amongst us. This is how we keep those who are banging and kicking at our doors to make us submit to what they want us to. This is how we stop that. This is how we stop that and let them know, hey, we ain't buying it. Again, not just the rhetoric they're talking, not what they're alleging now that, oh, the blacks are practicing racism against the Asians. No, motherfucker. That's not the case. You know what I mean? But by the same token, we ain't buying that no more than we are buying your products. What we're saying is it's our time now. Everyone have developed off us, have fed off of, ate off us. We're the only ones who are lacking in that respect. It's us, and we haven't eaten off of none of what we created or brought to the table. Everyone else has. So when Asians want to now go, before politicians and say, hey, we need this included in the anti-Asian bill, y'all need to be mindful of what the hell they're doing so we know how to combat that as well. See, now they know they're in a war, and they're going to I said this a month ago, they're going to pull out all the stops. When they realize that they're not strong enough to just fight us by themselves, they're going to go and say to those who are in charge, say, hey, man, we've done everything you asked us to do. We've been there, we fooled them for a long time. We kept them under. We bought them all those inferior products you gave us to give them. We sold them to them. We did everything. Now we need y'all. They may answer the call. And if that's the case, we need to be ready. That's all I'm saying. All right. So stop thinking in terms of neighborhoods or individualism. We have to actually start thinking in terms of a community of people. This is the only way we can, combat them or be able to be in the fight. As a result, we are thinking like that. We're coming together as a community saying, okay, you know what? This is what y'all did. Okay, we got y'all, But again, not that anger. We're not motivated by that. We're motivated by the love of our people. That's it. That's all. Now, that being said, by the same token that we're addressing the Asian community, because that's what it is, we also should be addressing and dealing with all those other demographics that have been doing the same exact thing as the Asian community, So we're going to say, okay, we're going to develop group economics and make sure that the Asians don't get none of our dollars. We have to also hold other demographics' feet to the fire. Mexicans, the YT people, they're first. They're on a higher echelon. They run the city. They run the government. They employ people to go and kill us, beat us, discriminate against us. They should be the first on the list because we didn't get the memo, in terms of how we should be doing this. We got it now. So our energy should be directed, to doing what we're supposed to do for us and not serving or catering to those who give a flying flick about any of us. Again, the power structure, that's where it starts from. The Asians were only doing what they were told to do so that they can get, be in, get a pass. At least that's what they thought. That's what they were told. Well, you handle them for us and y'all will be okay. They've been knew that was, some BS, but still they stuck with the program. They're not the only ones though. And we can't label it a boycott. Damn all that. A blackout. Damn all that. We're calling it group economics now, a wealth transfer for all those demographics that have done us wrong and continue to do us wrong. We have to address that with our dollars. That's our power, y'all. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. In this respect, money is what makes the world go round. Money is what makes this thing function. And the only way we're going to combat with them on a level playing field is through our dollars. Trust that. Know that. Now, A lot of y'all might be like, hey, man, but we ain't got no black businesses. We ain't this. And yeah, that's true. That's true. But they exist. They're out there. We have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to get out of that mind state of convenience and search for our people, man, and where they do business. Now, for those of us who have businesses, let's keep something in mind. Let's put something in perspective. Our people are coming to you. Have some damn respect and dignity. Know how to interact with your people to keep them coming back. All this old shit we do with one another, that shit got to stop in order for this thing to work. That's all I want to say about that, all right? But that's some real shit that need to be spoken on. If we're in the limelight now, then let's make sure that light shines as bright as it possibly can, you know, not just on the businesses, but the people who frequent the business, who come and spend their dollars, us, with that business. So y'all got to not just offer the goods and products, but interact with us in such a way where it's love and respect, and you appreciate the fact that they're coming to you now rather than those who don't deserve the money. All right. Keep that in perspective, man. That's some real shit that I don't think a lot of us discuss. And I'm pretty sure after this segment or me saying that, we'll hear more of it. And I don't mean to make like I'm the first one saying a whole lot of shit, but I could say I'm the first one saying a whole lot of shit. And here we are. And that's a good look. No love lost, man. The Asians are looking to amend the anti-Asian hate crime bill, or whatever they call it, by instilling in it, or attempting to, they're talking about it, putting in there, if blacks boycott Asian business, that's a form of racism. Imagine that. So now you're telling black people they got to spend their money with them or whoever they deem them is or to be. So if we say, I don't win, we don't know it, we can't go on social media and say, no, we're not going to spend with them. That's a crime. That's what they're trying to make it out to be. We got to be careful and mindful, man, of how these people play these games. And these games have been in effect for a very, very long time. In fact, I got a clip for us. It's going to take us back to the 70s, early 70s, in fact, late 60s. And these are Asians talking about black people. Asians in our communities, because back then we actually had communities, you know what I mean? But they're talking about us like we're trash, you know? And so we see these generations coming, this third, fourth generation. Oh, no, we love the black. No, man, that shit y'all popping, we ain't buying it. We ain't buying it. We rather just do shit the way we're doing it. We're not going to say, hey, man, we forgive, you know, your people for this. When the whole time, the same mindset they're on, y'all been bred with, you grew up with. The mindset, you grew up with it. It's in your homes, not just your community. It's in your homes where it starts first. So I want to drop that clip and show y'all, man, this some real shit. This ain't no made up shit. You can't make this shit up, man. You know, and it ain't AI, but they want us to buy this act, these statements, words that they cool with us, that they're cool with us. They never been cool with us. Since they got here, they've never been cool with us. Not all of them. The majority of them have not, you know. So on that note, I'm going to drop that clip. Before I do, let me jump up in these comments. Yeah, quite a bit. Right quick, I want to drop out there again. I want to put in front of the people, especially the RGC and those who listen from time to time. We got this thing, man. We have a crowdfunder, man, for TJ, man, for Tim Hamilton, man. The brother's up and coming. He's in the film industry. We love to see him make his way, make his bones in that get out. Because we're pretty sure as a family, he's going to bring something to the table, something thoughtful, something mind-provoking, you know, and all that shit that we're missing in film today. He's one of these brothers, you know, he's another Ryan Colliger, you know, whatever that brother's name is, who did Black Panther and Sinners. He the next that, you know what I mean? But not Ryan, he's Tim Hamilton. He's going to do his damn thing. Support him. He's doing his thesis, final grade, a part of his final grade in film school, you know, and to do the thesis, it costs money. Let's be realistic. All right. So we're asking, and this is one of them times I will ask the people, look out for this brother. You know, I put the info, the link up there. All right, his crowdfunder, man, it's up in there, man. Y'all check him out, man. And if you got $5, man, thank you. He appreciates it. I'm thanking you for him. You know, man, I'm pretty sure he goes in and, he assesses his channel or, that link. So don't y'all worry about nothing, man. Like I say, anytime we got our people, our brothers and sisters who are striving to do better, to empower themselves, uplift themselves and their family and anybody around them, those are the individuals we supposed to support. Not these idiots, man. We see in the streets and they got these channels and they doing this and they're doing that. And they're not, come on, man. Let's be real. We look all them down social media. We can look all into entertainment industry, rap, or so-called rap, hip-hop, movie stars, celebrities. Come on, man. And for any of y'all thinking, well, he gonna do the same thing. Nah, we ain't let that happen. We'll be fighting his ass. No, but that ain't how he wired, man. He's not wired like that. He love the people. He don't love what's going on with the people. And so we looking forward to him making some changes, especially in that industry. And again, that's another fight that he has to prepare for. We want him to be suited and booted, armored up, man. But we got to get him past that threshold. And this is why the crowdfunder exists. We want to get him in the door. So help us do that, all right? That being said, let's move on, man. And shout out to TJ, man. Do your thing, man. We got you. We got you. All right. All right. Again, Donald Davis, what it do, bro? All love. You say you chilling? Me too. I see you, Snipe. Wow, man. I see you. Hey, Raymond Sco, all love, man. Peace and prosperity. Prosperity to each and every one of you. That includes you, Snipe, and you also, Donald. Love to see the guy, you brothers up in here hanging out with us, man. We appreciate that, a great deal. I saw I missed your call. Raymond, don't trip, Roscoe. I will hit you up, and if it's something you want, put it in the get down right now and let me go find it or whatever the case may be. But, I'm here for you. I appreciate you tapping in. Again, I apologize for missing your call. Queen and Zinga say happy Tuesday, kings and queens. Peace and abundant blessings to the RGCB1. For those of you who don't know, that's Black First. This the mindset we trying to get up and running, y'all. Us now, nobody else. Us. And then that's that us. Let's put it like this. For all of us who are doing the right thing, the righteous thing, positive thing, we worried about not just ourselves, but our families, our neighborhoods, our sets, our communities. That's what B1 stand for. Black First. Let's deal with us, man. Let's get us right as best we can so we can, address all this other shit that's coming down the pipes at us. And trust and know, they got a lineup, y'all. They got it ain't what we think. See, for a lot of it, we look for the overt racism and shit like that. The overt discrimination, nah, man. They're a little more craftier than that. They're going to come in all kind of ways, man. Your food, your water, whatever, your bills, any way they can tear you down. That's how they're going to go about doing it. And we're saying, man, don't buy this shit no more, man. Don't buy none of this shit, this program, this system, none of it. And we will survive. A lot of us ask, hey, man, how we going to get, man, look, man, all we need is us, man. We going to get it done. We don't need them. They need us. Facts. They need us. When you're talking about the type of money we generate annually, that's an indication that these people say, okay, this is a gold mine. These people are a gold mine. We're the only ones who don't realize that. We have to get into the know, man, in terms of what we bring to the table. Financially speaking, man, that's our power. That's our leverage. And we got to use it, man. If we don't use it, others will use it against us. They'll come and get our money, extract our money from our neighborhoods, our communities, whatever, and we don't see none of that back. Our communities don't get developed. They don't get looked after. The more we do or ask for it, we vote people in office to get these things we want, the more they take from us. This shit is not rocket science, man. It's just not. For any of us, man, I don't care if you street level or above. The writing is on the wall, man. The writing is on the wall. We are at war. Real shit, but not in the sense that a lot of y'all or told what war is. It's on a different level. It's on a different plane, man. This is how they get down. That's why I said, if we're looking for mugs to be overtly racist and all this shit, for the most part, they ain't going to do that. So we got to be mindful of how it comes. It comes in all shapes, forms, and fashions. All right, that's it. Again, Queen Zinga, thanks for tapping in. Raymond Scholes said, look, man, the fundamental in our gaining power is to economically decimate their power structure, hold our money, become parsimonious. That's stingy. I've been labeled that. I've been called that quite a few times. Appreciate that, Raymond Scott, but hey, real spit. That's the truth. That's the process. That should be the process. You know? And again, we're not doing it because we're angry. We're doing it because we love us. We realize that this is our leverage. They take our dollars and they actually use our dollars against us, man. Ain't that crazy? Think about it. They take our money and they use our money against us. Not in a good way. I said against us, not for us, with us, to benefit us, but against us. Our money. How do we stop that process, man? Stop giving them our money. Most of what we buy are not necessities, man. And this is the mindset we got to get to or get through with a lot of our people. A lot of what they buy are not necessities. I just saw some shit today. I think it was somewhere down south. A situation had with a young brother, 11-year-old brother, got gasoline at a gas station, put all over him and shit. Something was occurring. The gas station would not give any milk or water to flood, so it ended up severely messing with his skin and shit. Brothers are over there and sisters protesting this business. But you got brothers and sisters. I mean, I watched the thing, it's about 5 minutes long. Every half a minute, brothers, they pulling up. And brothers and sisters telling them, hey, man, this is what we're doing because A, B, and C. It's the most embarrassing shit. And this is why these people, other demographics, think we're not going to make it. We're not going to be successful because we don't know how to come together. We don't know how to support one another in the time of need. So a lot of these brothers and sisters who do that, these are the same brothers and sisters who don't know how to take care of themselves. So, of course, they're not going to know how to take care of each other or one of their other brothers and sisters who may need their support. They don't love themselves. So how the hell are they going to love an 11-year-old boy? They're like, man, I got to get my black and mild. I got to do it. And then got all belligerent with a brother. I just got out. I did 9 years. Like, damn, homie, you supposed to be front center then. He one of them brothers that got broke in there. That broke him. He folded. To come home and not want to support the people after doing a 9-year bid says a lot about an individual, if you ask me, But we got to get to the point where we supporting the people. We're not buying this BS no more, y'all. We got to stand up, man, and stand out. That's the only way we're going to get to where we need to be. Appreciate you dropping that, man. Parsimonious. We're going to tell Rakufu when he come in. That's the word for the day. That's fitting. That is fitting. We're going to be very stingy, very niggerly with our money. All right? Look it up. Yeah. Appreciate that, Raven Skull. James said, man, stop wasting money on foreign products and services, bub. That's the spit. This is what we're saying to the people. Again, a lot of what we buy are not necessities. And then a lot of what we think are necessities is junk they selling us. From the bottled water to the food. I'm telling y'all, man, the shit is going down in such a way, man. A lot of you will be hard pressed just to trust and believe what's being done to our food. The water we drink, the air we breathe, So when we're talking about group economics or we're talking about wealth transfers, we're talking about this in respect that let's get our money and let's create those necessities we need. Let's create them for ourselves so that we don't have to go buy third-rate goods from people that don't give a flying flick about us. That's what makes sense about that. And so y'all think about that. Chew on that. Chew on that. All right. James going to say, man, what kind of idiot buys 10-gram purses, 10-gram purses and 5-gram shoes? That's what goofy Asians and others be doing. Brothers know better than that. It makes me sick that any moron would spend crazy money on material garbage like that other clown idiot Floyd Mayweather. This dude has $50 million in watches. What the WTF going on? But if you know that much, then you researched him. You've heard him. He messed up. He's messed up. He's fully indoctrinated. I heard him speak about Israel. He sends them money to defend themselves against Gaza and Hamas. I'm just saying. That's common knowledge. I'm not making that up. That's not an allegation. It's out of his mouth. This is what he does. He supports them. AIPAC, all of them. Donations in the millions. I can't speak to what he's done in the areas he come from. You know what I mean? Because I haven't seen nothing there. I would imagine he might have a gym and, they run a business as a result of boxing. You know what I mean? They train fighters and put fighters on the card or whatnot, try to make more money. I get that part. But outside of that, I've read nothing. I've seen nothing. So you're talking about an individual, man, who's all in. He's just one of many. He's one of many. And yeah, he spent buku dollars on them people. Straight up, But he ain't the only one. He ain't the only one. We see him all day, every day on social media. They up there. They're showing you, from the street level on up. All of them do it, They're making these people super rich, while the rest of us, we struggle, we starve, and I want to say, I'm going to say, it's not their responsibility to take care of us. All right, a lot of them say I'm not obligated. I wonder if that's the same sentiment or thought when Red Cross, the ADF, or anybody come for a donation. Do they think that too? You know what I mean? Most of the shit they buy that costs large sums of money, they might wear once or twice. So that's a waste in and of itself. But you can't tell them nothing because, hey, they made that money. You know what I mean? And people in their ears saying, hey, man, buy what you want. This is why you did this. You got to where you are so you can afford this type of stuff, man. It's the cream of the crop. Don't listen to them, man. Do yourself or treat yourself. Matter of fact, I know a jeweler. He got a watch, man. It's $5 million, but it's a bad watch. You look good in it. There's some sucker shit they own. So you can't do nothing about it, But remember who they are. Remember who they are, y'all. Because times will change. Times are changing. Remember them, man. And don't give them no pass. Don't give them no pass, So that's what I say to that. Yeah, they know better, but that don't mean they're going to do better, James. That's the cold part. When you know better, you're supposed to do better. But, you can't, too many people, too many handlers in their ears. Too many handlers, man. You're going to say all those wasted dollars could have been invested in so much to benefit ours. Raymond Scott says, our people have to get to a point of collective agreement on these topics. If we seen how our unity will affect a positive outcome for us, we'd have had power by now. Yeah. James said, man, I'm going to go to Burger King and McDonald's, granted, but you never catch me at ethnic or other race businesses. Well, you think about those, some of them, Burger King, McDonald's, could be franchised, franchised out. So unless you do your research, you don't really know if an Asian or a Russian or Indian, a ish person, owns it, or a black person, if you don't do your research, So you can still be catering to the same thing, but I get your point though. Okay, I get your point though. And you're gonna say, no, literally, I'm not buying. 90% of my money goes into black pockets. Yeah, we had that conversation around here a couple days ago, man, about that, And I wasn't actually surprised. I felt more inspired. I felt good about the people because everybody's opinion and in terms of what they're doing in regards to this issue is on point. So I was like, okay, I'm in a good crowd. You know what I mean? That's how I looked at it. And I appreciate knowing when I'm in the presence of people who are conscious, who are conscious, because that means then I'm going to pick up something I may not be aware of, So it's always good, man. When our people come together and spend amongst us, again, group economics is our leverage. And I'm telling you, I got a clip for you. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me drop this right now because we're on the topic. I appreciate you saying that, James, because that goes right into this. Real spit, man. Beautiful. All right, here we go. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I get it right. All right, let me drop this, man, because get rid of that. And this is a young brother talking, and we tend to act like we don't know when a lot of us think a lot of our young brothers ain't aware, but they are, man. Now get a bar of this right quick, man. I'm gonna come back into these comments in a hot second.
We have 58 million black people in America. If we all donated $1 a month, that'd be money. Yeah. You know how easy it'd be to come together and say, let's build some black schools, black banks, black hospitals. We wouldn't need nobody for nothing. All we need is people to manage this money. Even if we don't have all 58 million, even if it was just half of that, half of them did 50 cents. Yeah. Let's do the black. Ain't finna stick together like that. That's why I'm the change. Sometimes it takes the younger generation to say, okay, we ain't accepting that answer no more. We have 58 million black people.
All right. And see, that's one of our go-tos right there, man. Where a lot of us would say, man, our people ain't trying to hear that shit. That's a pipe dream. That's this, that's that. That ain't gonna work. But see, I think a lot of them, because they say that, they don't realize the history. History does repeats it. It repeats itself. It could be in a good way or a bad way, right or wrong, negative or positive. But when we're talking about people coming together and establishing banks and hospitals and schools, we've done that before. It's been done. And not only was it done, it was done correctly. It was done well. It was done so prosperously that it had to be stopped. So when we get individuals like this young brother saying, hey, man, this can be done. And then we get these individuals, oh, man, people ain't going to come together, because you didn't do your history. You haven't really taken to your history lessons. I'm quite sure even back then, brothers and sisters, now we ain't going to be able to do this. Brothers ain't going to come together. We've been on the plantation too long. This right after, chattel slavery. And they did it. They did it. We've experienced none of what they went through. You know what I mean? And yet we got brothers and sisters saying we can't do it. I'm here to say, yes, we can. It's all dependent on whether or not we want to do it. Listen, man, without sacrifice, no victory, man. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So when you got young brothers younger than us coming up and saying, hey, man, this is the idea. Let's figure out how to formulate this, how to make this thing work. Then that's what we're supposed to be on. We're supposed to be on that, not just here in California, but every 50 state, each one of the 50 states where we're sending our people. How do we establish this? Okay, we got the money. Okay, we're ready to do this. Where do we send the money and how is it entrusted so that the people feel like they don't have to worry as to whether or not, like most people, you take your money, swindle you, take it and run. Politicians do it, How can they trust us? If a financial system is being set up to receive that type of money, more than likely it will be set up under the FDIC. You know what I mean? And that means then it has to be set up according to regulation. There can't be no funny shit. You know what I mean? And not only that, we want to have the best and brightest in those positions. Might even have some who are not, but just to, watch some motherfucker, make sure the book's right. Not only the FDC, you want the NCUA. And that's, I think, the National Credit Union Association, because you don't want just banks. You want credit unions. But in order for all this to happen, we have to be willing to push this forward. You know what I mean? We have to be willing to pivot from, we don't use boycott no more. Group economics and wealth transfer to making it really work for us as a group, and as wealth being transferred to the group. We got to figure that out, man. And I don't think that's a hard assignment, So we got to get past, okay, we already know what's happening. We're not spending our dollars. And one more thing, it's time to evolve that process. There are others who are involved in the same type of behavior, disrespect and hatred towards us. It's nothing to talk about. We just do it. We should just do it. Now, I've done my homework somewhat, and I can speak to California. What's out here in California, where our brothers and sisters want to take their money out of Wells Fargo. Our money should never be in Wells Fargo. Do y'all research, man. Wells Fargo with the bullshit, They support the removal of DEI from all that shit. All of it. They invest in private prisons. They look, man, JP Morgan as well. Chase Bank, probably Bank America, just so much. But I'm saying all this to say, man, once we get it in our heads, okay, that when we're talking about wealth transfer, we're talking about group economics, then we got to also be understanding or being willing and ready to talk about where we're going to put this money. We're going to transfer it to where? Where will we establish it and set it up? So I did a little research, man. There in California, in LA, there are a few banks, 2 banks in the credit union. One United Bank. I have the address of that. Hold on. One United Bank is one. Citizens Trust Bank is another. National Bankers Association is another. All right. And I think one of them is a credit union. I got the information here. We're running short on time, man. Been doing a lot of research today. But so when we're talking about how do we transfer this money, how do we put it in an institution that represents us and is about us, I went and looked into that a little bit. All right. So that gives us an idea. In fact, I did Los Angeles, San Diego, Arizona, and Texas just to start. All right. But in LA, One United Bank, 3683 Crenshaw Boulevard. That's in LA. All right. And then there's another One United Bank at 1494 North Wilmington Avenue in Compton. All right. We got City First Bank, formerly Broadway Federal Bank, at 4001 South Figueroa Street, LA. Those are 3. That's a start. That's a start. So when we're talking about establishing a wealth transfer, a group economics, then we have something in place that we can go and sit down and say, hey, this is what people want to do with our money. How do we go about doing this? And in fact, what we don't want to necessarily use One United for right now, or City First, until we understand you guys' program and get out who money y'all hold, what y'all do with the money as it sit, the interest and all that. Once we find out all that, then we could decide whether or not we want to utilize them because they're already in motion or in place. If not, we can establish our own. It can be done. It's legal. So I'm just saying this to say this, man. If we're going to do this thing, let's have our shit and let's set our shit up. Let's be prepared. It's no longer a boycott. Again, we passed that. We're not buying nothing from nobody else. Let's pivot from that. Keep in mind, it ain't just them, that demographic. Asians got to be the Mexicans who do the same shit to us, the Jewish people, and all other people, the Indians, all of them, the whites, those who really run the government are against us more than anybody. And again, I can't see for the life of me why we aren't like anything y'all own, we ain't on it. Because these are the same people who tell police associations and, you know, unions, okay, keep it down a little bit, but keep your foot on their neck, you know, type of shit. Same people who will excuse and exonerate murderers of our people. And we not on them like that first. Because all these other demographics get it from them. I'm just saying, that's just a thought. You know. But in terms of LA, those are 3 banks that exist. And my research found that, well, I can't find one in San Diego. You know, I can't find one in Arizona. That should tell us something. You know what I mean? That means, okay, we got work to do. You know, there's one in Houston, Texas, Unity National Bank, 2602 Bludgett Street in Houston, Black owned, well reviewed. All right. So those were just those states I looked into. But again, my point is, y'all, if we're going to make this pivot, if we're going to transition from this mindset, okay, we're going to spend our money no longer with you people, but with ourselves, and we have to have our shit in place. We have to be prepared to do the work, man. We have to be prepared to do the work, man. And then not only that, man, but we got to get past the point of just talking. We got to start getting involved, all right? So there that is with that. In fact, let me just show y'all something right quick. Again, this is some serious shit. And it ain't just them Asians, man. It's all of them. It's every one of them. Every one of them. I can't find it all of a sudden. That's crazy. Oh, there you go. I found it. Right here. All right, I'm going to play this one for y'all right quick. Check this out. Check this out. And they want to keep telling us they cool with us. Never have been, man. Never will be.
I gotta tell you about these Chinese people. If you didn't know, check this video out.
Blacks in the South have such a low social status that you simply can't be seen in public with them and still expect to have any respect.
Time to help them try to go get go to the barber shop. That's how the American barber know he not the full-blood Chinese. They say don't cut no nigga hair. Just put that way.
Civil rights movement helped the Chinese to attain certain status among the white world, more or less. Whereas we didn't have anything gained in the black world, because they didn't have nothing for us to step into. Well, you know, we didn't march. If that's what you mean, so why didn't we get out and march? And well, I guess the best answer is that I'm a coward.
So wait, the civil rights movement that was meant for black people, they benefited from to get the store, to get the laundromats, to get all the businesses in the black community. But they wouldn't take no ass whooping with the blacks to accomplish that. Chinese people, which are more advice according to the Bible, went as far as opening up their own Baptist church to assimilate with who? White people. How much more evidence do you need? Rick Chow chased a young man by the name of Cyrus 100+ yards and gunned him down like a dog in the street. And to add insult to injury, they go and get a black man to represent them. And what's the verdict? Not guilty. But you do know what the Bible says, right? Here you go right here. See you next time.
Yeah. I'm just saying though. So again, that conversation that's behind, that's like, you know, water under the bridge when we're talking about them people and what was done and what's been done. But we got a history with them. And a lot of them think we've forgotten how they've been acting, you know. But again, it's not just them. If we're gonna do this, man, let's do it by the book. Let's do it as we should do it. You know, we don't separate, man, you know, one from all the rest. No, man, they all in the same boat. And that's how we should treat this situation. They're all together against us, you know. So therefore, man, it calls for us to come together and get our shit right. Stop looking to them to help us. That's not their get down. Their get down with us is to help themselves and damn us. You know, this has been their mindset for a very, very long time. And they got that. They've been indoctrinated with that from their masters. So it only would make sense, man. It only would make sense. So let's pivot to the point, man. Everybody's affected by us deciding that group economics is the best thing for black folk. Be one, black first, man. That's it. You know, that wealth transfer is going to affect us and nobody else. It's going to benefit us and no one else unless we decide. Should we decide we want to do business with them based upon how we decide to do business? Other than that, man, yeah, man, you get Nathan. You get Nathan. So, yeah, let's get beyond, you know, talking about just, you know, the Buddha heads or the Asians. Nah, man, it's all of them. All of them need to be addressed. And, you know, again, we ain't got to do it personally in their face. Not go there. You know? Don't support them. You know? And again, black people say, oh, we ain't got this. Yes, we do. Y'all just got to get out of this comfort zone you in, this convenience zone. They exist, man. Businesses, black businesses exist all over this country. You know, we just got to be willing to go find them businesses. Come out of our little, you know, that convenience we have by going up to the corner bodega or, you know, the corner, you know, Asian stop or whatever, man, to get, you know, whatever we're getting. That would include big box stores, man, supermarkets even. Our brothers and sisters are farmers, man, all over this country. From California down, from the west to the east, man, everything in between, north to south. We got it. We just aren't willing to get up and go, hey, man, let's do that. That would include gas stations if you're worried about gas. And yet for a lot of us, it's hard to find a black-owned gas station, even for us, you know. But, you know, we want to do the work. We're going to find them. And we're going to participate in this get out because it's for the betterment of our people. All right, I said enough about that. Let's get back up in these comments. I got a couple more videos, though. Man, y'all, we up against it, man. We are in a goddamn fight, man, and don't know it for the most part. James going to say, man, listen, we don't own gas companies and gas stations and a different array of other big face corporations. So in regards to having your car run, where else we gonna get our gasoline, bub? And again, I found out just recently there are actually black-owned gas stations in LA. You would have thought it. At least that's what I was told. I haven't got to the research of that yet, but since you mentioned it, I'm gonna do it right now while we're doing this thizzle. Claude, are there any black-owned gas stations in Los Angeles, Compton, Watts, Inglewood, West LA? Black-owned service stations or gas stations? Yeah, that question makes sense. You know, we have to find out. Whoa, that's crazy. There's one in Compton. That's for you, James. You the closest. Hooper's Shell Station at 11913 Compton Avenue, LA. It's been described as the only black-owned gas station in Southern California. Now, if that don't mean we got work to do, man, I don't know what would or what does. And it dates back to the early 1950s when it started as a Texaco station founded by Bill Harper. It's still run by the Harper family today. One source notes that it's specifically the only black-owned gas station in Los Angeles. More broadly, nationwide, there are reportedly only 29 Black-owned gas stations left out of over 145,000 total. So it's a very small pool. I'm telling you, man, just based on that information right there, come on, man. Yeah, you got to know something up. You got to know something up. I remember there was a gas station on Hoover and 77th, on the corner, 77th and Hoover, back in the day, Black-owned. We looked up one day, 1977, it got closed down. It was a Texaco. It got closed down, you know. We were like, damn, you know. Not on that, the RTD, the Randall T. Davis used to run up and down Hoover. That stopped, you know. As the years passed, a lot of Black businesses and shit, you know, was going out of business, being closed down. You know, a lot of us remember when this shift took place. You know, a lot of you don't, you know. But there that is, man. We got one gas station, man. That would be the business then. You know, if we had like-minded brothers and sisters who really about the people, who got the paper and say, man, it's your gas station. You know, put gas stations in the community, hire Blacks to run them, you know, by the books. You know what I mean? Not gonna lose no money. Gas is money, you know what I mean? You're not gonna lose no money, man. You know, so that's a challenge out to the Black community, those who have the wherewithal to establish that type of get down. Man, open some gas stations, man. Open some gas stations. Open grocery stores that gets its produce from Black growers in our communities. See, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that our people are being told, don't invest in this type of stuff. Invest in Nike, Adidas, Gucci, you know. Give your money to, you know, those people and they'll invest it, you know. Go to the stock market, you know. They invest in everybody but us. And it shows. It shows, man. That's some sad shit right there. I did not know that, man. I did not know that. Now, we have grocery stores, but gas stations, man. Don't even know how vital that is for a whole lot of reasons. Lisa Morris, she's in the house, y'all. One our queen, sister said, Grand Rising, Brother Bud, blessings to you and the family. Peace and love to the kings and queens in the RGC. B1 Black first. Appreciate your presence, sister. Peace and prosperity to you and your family. Good to see you here amongst us. Always a pleasure to have you queens hanging out with the brothers. Real spit. And Jane said, Bub, I was laughing the other day randomly at your take on movies. I'm very similar. Getting me to watch any movie nowadays is like sending me into an underground cave. Hell no. You know. And I'm gonna tell you something about movies, man. The way they make them, y'all. It's a cold twist of that too. Think about it. Any movie that stars a Black man or a woman that's anywhere where we are, it's rife with negativity. There's sprinkles of positivity. But throughout the movie, it's showing one thing, mainly us against us. Coldest part about that is this. We're not even the ones that commit the most crimes in this country. We're like third or fourth. But anytime we're depicted in a film, a movie, we're low class, we're being denigrated, disrespected, we're violent, angry, aggressive, ghetto, you know, all the above. You know, and we are the poster child of all things negative. When in reality, FBI statistics, y'all, and I'm talking about the most violent of crimes to the lesser crimes, we're outdone in all categories. We're not first in all of them, you know, but this is how we're portrayed. Why is that? Media helps to do that. This is where this shit is set up. The news does it. Man, these white people commit so many crimes and so many murders amongst themselves every day. Man, they can't put that in the news because it would mess up. They would tarnish their image as being superior, a race that gets along. You know what I mean? When the reality is, hey, man, before they even ran into any melanated people, man, do your history lessons, y'all. What were they doing to each other? That shit ain't stopped. It ain't stopped, you know. But when it comes to film, man, yeah, we're always being depicted as the most negative in society. And the reality is that's not true. Based on facts, you know, statistics that the FBI keep. So then there's no wonder that other surveillance organizations or departments, CIA and everybody else, would want to create all these issues in our communities. It's no wonder. They want that shit to match the image. They want the image, you know, reality to match the image. That's what it's boiling down to. Then it's no wonder that you would get the general consulate of Israel come and say, hey, man, we got a problem. And that problem is the black community. See, because you just can't single out our kids and say, oh, it's the young black youth in America, when you got to realize that, well, if they looking like that, a lot of their older people are looking at it like that too. So it's us that's a threat. And something got to be done about it. So this is why we see a lot of what we see in our communities. We don't bring this shit into our communities, y'all. We just don't. We do not. I've yet to hear one major meth lab bus that was ran by blacks. Cocaine, marijuana farm. You know, when they talk about prostitution rings, the shit they show us is on the, man, that don't compare to the shit that's really happening. You get it? They don't highlight that. They highlight low-level dudes, man. They even make movies of low-level pimps, but they glorify them. They got the furs, the Cadillacs, the jewels and shit, you know. Same shit today. Same process 40 years ago, 50 years ago in terms of film they're doing today. And it ain't even like that, man. You know what I mean? Really, seriously speaking, you got other demographics that run that shit. I mean, literally run that shit. You know, you're talking about sex trafficking on a level most of us want, you know, we don't even want to comprehend. It's scary. But we're the bad guys. We're the poster of all this shit. And we don't even, it don't add up, y'all. The math don't math, man. But here we are. So yeah, when it comes to movies though, James, that's why I'm at, man. I know a lot of them are just propaganda. You know, a lot of these movies are made to create false narratives about us. Sad thing about that is that most of us buy that shit. We buy into it. We buy into it. You know, sisters started wearing, you know, there's a whole lot, man. I can't wait to Cinda come back to the Get Down. We got a lot to talk about. I just seen it recently. It's all kind of shit that our people do, and they only do it because they mimicking what they seen in film. What they've seen in film, you know? So you're not going to have, for instance, a gang of movies like Sinners. You know, you're just not going to have that, man. You know? Where there's, see, we so messed up, man. We don't even get the message of the fucking movie. We stuck on some more shit. There's more than one message to that movie, but we're so messed up we don't get it. But the fact that that movie was made and it did damn good, you got to know there's an effort to make sure that Ryan don't push out no more shit like this. And the way he had to negotiate that movie, he did like no other black film director did. He won on all levels. He beat out Spike Lee, John Singleton, and any others, Mario Van Peebles, whoever. Beat him out, man. He negotiated like a black man. Now you know they said, "Now we can't let this do that shit again." So I got to think that he's trying to figure out how to create a film production company. We put out his own shit. I gotta think like that. I gotta think that that's how he's thinking, because he know better than any of us. Shit, TJ know when it comes to this film shit, they do shit a certain way, and when you don't do it like they want to do it, they'll try to ruin you. How he made it through, I don't know, man. But the ancestors had to been looking out for his ass. But when we look at movies again, y'all, what we looking at? We're looking at it from someone else's perspective that's not even related to, don't even have our history, let alone our experiences, but they're telling a story and they're telling actors how to act. That's like going across seas to get British actors, even African actors, to come to America and act in a role that Africans, Black Americans experience and know better than anybody, fill them roles. Man, it's all kind of shit being done against us, y'all, that we not peeping. Because again, there's so much at work to keep us distracted. This is our problem. We allow ourselves to become distracted, man, with bullshit. Our sons and our daughters, our grandchildren, they caught up, man. And in some instances, we can't blame them, man, because what they putting out there is getting more powerful, more and more powerful every day. These images, these trends, what's viral, what's not, and dudes it's a whole lot, y'all. You got fucking spy agencies, you got the government working against our children, man, and us, to make sure that we don't get off this get out of this rut we in. It's a lot of work, y'all. Again, I said it's from the food on down. The main three things we need, we don't control, we have no control over, we don't run. Food, clothes, and shelter. All right? And for those of us who have shelter, pay rent, mortgage, own home, the fact of the matter is, really, we don't own that shit. It's not really even ours. Look at what's happening back east right now. Jewish people are stealing homes right up from under black folk, man. Brownstones in New York, Bed-Stuy, all of it. And it's spreading to Jersey and other spots. They're popping up everywhere, man, drawing down on brothers and sisters. This shit crazy, man, and we don't see it, though, because they got us so focused on us, but in a negative way. That's where our problem is. Film is part of the problem, like music is, though, James. You know this. I was talking about this girl the other day, Miami. I don't know the lady. I don't listen to her. Let it be told she hung with Puffy. Okay, so I can't really tell you what's up with Puffy. I just know they painted him to look bad, right? Puffy might know something we don't know. And Puffy might just be being taught a lesson now. And after this, we might kill you. Now, what you want to do, Puff Daddy? You want to go and take this time, let us paint you in a bad light? Or you want to open your mouth and that be the end of you? So, he got to choose. You know what I mean? He got to choose. But anyway, she hung with him. Now, she got a song out called Spin That. Y'all, man, and our people listening to that shit. Straight poison. Straight poison. You know, that shit is all over the airwaves. And to couple that with social media and what we see in it. Most of the most successful podcasts are ran by YT people who got connections, y'all. Man, they running this shit on us, man. Crazy work. But we don't see it. We don't see, brothers don't see why it's detrimental to keep going back to VLAD and No Jumper and others just like it. They don't see that shit. They'll tell them, okay, we'll get you anywhere from 1,500 to 20,000 to come on the show, do a couple episodes. And brothers will sell their mamas to go do that. They'll sell their buttholes to go do that. This is how this shit is rigged against us. They got us so caught up on materialism that we're forgetting what's really necessary. What keeps us living. It ain't got nothing to do with materialism. It really don't, but this is where we are with this shit. Yeah, I don't like the movies. I don't like that music, homie. I'd see some shit as soon as it come on. I'd be like, I'll tell my wife, because, I might piss her off, man, and I'll soothe her right after, though. I don't want her mad. I don't never want my baby mad. But I'm like, oh, this is some bullshit. I'll either get up or grab my remote, put some on my TV. But, that's what we got, man, put in front of us. This shit, man, that's enticing us to be undignified, man, unprincipled, have no integrity, no moral compass. I want to say a lot of shit about our sisters, but I know it ain't cool. That time will come, man, when, certain sisters come out. I got questions. I want to ask why, man. Why? What up, bro? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. There you go, yeah. That's something a whole lot of them lacking. All right. There you go, man.
That's why he told me where he was going, but I was like, shit. By the time I talked to him, if you'd hit me a couple days ahead of time, I know she'd like to go to that.
Yeah, I thought about you too. I thought you'd have been, traveling or whatever, going to see family out of town. That's what I thought, Vegas or something. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna give you a call after this. Get down though, G. All the time. Appreciate you. Love you, bro. All right. So look, we just in this shit, man, and we don't seem to figure or cannot figure out how to get out of it, or like I said, make them sacrifices. Because look, man, in the realest way, we don't have a lot of necessities. We what we think we need really just wants and desires that have been put in our heads. Food, clothes, and shelter, man. And then anything that would not supplement, but make that thing function accordingly in food, clothes, and shelter, are those things we add to it. But for the most part, man, if you look at us, man, we waste resources. Our main resource, we waste it. We give it away. I think there's a lot of coercion involved, but still we give it away, and we shouldn't, but that is, man. And You know, we got work to do, man. And I'm not saying it's impossible. I think we can do it. As long as we're willing to make them sacrifices, man. That's it. Yeah, but you ain't never lie about that movie shit, though, Jane. You're going to say, man, I don't mean to be random, Brother Bud, but I trip off them woods who go into them deep underground caves and them MFs be getting sucked up in there. Shaking my head, life is good above ground, and I'm claustrophobic. I just watched one of the movies about 2 weeks ago. They go underground, man, there's monsters under there. And I'm like, okay, why y'all even underground, though? What the hell do you want to be down in, I don't know. That shit they do, That shit they do, man. What the hell I want to be underground, 500 feet, 1,000 feet underground? What the hell I need down there? What am I searching for down there? If it's life down there, why the fuck I need to mess with it? What business is that is mine? What it ain't none of my business. They ain't coming up ground, coming knocking on my door. Talking about how long you been living here? What's in there? What's your life like? Hey, man, hey. Why the hell would I do some shit like so? A lot of these movies don't make sense, but hey, this is how they entertain the people. The people want to be entertained. That's the problem. All right, I see you up in here, Chris B1, man. Black first. Peace, prosperity to you, bro. Good to see you, man. Good to see you hanging out. Tell me about it, man. How these last few days been for you, bro? Tell me about it. James said, I never understood adrenaline junkies, man. People who be risking their life. I don't understand it. All right. All right. XX Frank Nitty. You say salute right back to you, bro. Appreciate you up in here. Yeah, man. That's what's up. All right, Fat Rat, I see you. Peace right back to you. Say, man, peace to you and RGC Big Bug right back to you, bro. Appreciate your presence, man. Peace and prosperity. Love you for hanging out. James said, I also like to send mine to you and yours, Brother Bub, you, your queen, and the family. And, of course, the extended family, all of the Hoovers on all lines. We got to unite, bro. One, time running out. One. Absolutely. That's my stance. That's the square I'm on. I make no bones about it. I ain't got no issue with it. I'll tell individual, I don't care where they from, quick, fat, in a hurry. There's some bullshit. What our people doing is bullshit, and not just from Hoover Street, but all these streets. We ain't got a whole lot of time, y'all. And again, it's shit in play to make sure that we never be able to fall back from this shit. You know what I mean? Everybody always got an excuse about who they lost, this, then, and third. Man, you're not in the boat by yourself. You're not on the island. We've all went through this. Now it's time, man, to stop going through this shit because there's some people coming. In fact, they're already here. It's a lot going on y'all not aware of, man. I'm just getting up on my damn self, and I'm pretty sure that's just a smidget of it. Them people are here, man. The IDF is here, already here. And if a lot of you don't know, they also are joining the U.S. military, the IDF. I've seen social media content just today where they're on college campuses recruiting for their military. They're here, and I think that's a front. That's just, something their real business for being here. We've already spoken on it. And if y'all didn't get it then, you may not get it now, but I'll repeat it. When they said that the black youth in America is the greatest threat to Israel, that should tell each and every one of us something, especially if we got kids who are youth, our grandkids. We're supposed to be making them aware of what's coming down the pipes, because anytime them people are bold enough to say that straight out, the greatest threat to Israel is black people. And again, they can't just say our youth and not think us too. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Anytime people are that comfortable to say that means, man, it's on and cracking. It's on and cracking, and they got a lot at play to help make sure the threat, if it don't go away gradually, it goes away quickly. You know what I mean? It's all kind of shit being at play, man, regarding us. And we don't get a hold of it, man, and get an idea, get an understanding, get prepared. Hey, man, we done. You know, and I don't care about no different sects over here and over there by themselves, enclaves. If we're not one unit, none of that's gonna matter. They'll just go one at a time. You know how that shit go. Y'all know how that shit go. This is the necessity and the importance of creating a community. The Black nation, man, or whatever you want to call it. That's the importance of that. So we're on one wavelength, one frequency. For anybody that ain't with it, man, yeah, you got to remove them. They must be removed. They, you know, until they've been, you know, re-indoctrinated, or to, you know, their spark, you know, has been lit. You know, they've been activated properly, appropriately, you know, naturally. They shouldn't be around us, you know, because, you know, that it's going to be our problem. So it's not about individual groups saying, oh, we're ready, we're this, we're that. That means jack, man. That don't mean shit. That really don't mean shit. Just motherfucker, you just waiting your turn. You just waiting your turn. You know what I mean? So it only matters if we're talking about getting down as a unit, as one wavelength, one frequency, one unit, one people, above anything else. If not, hey man, now again, it ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter, you know. So yeah, there that is. James say, Bub, I'm 10 toes down. I don't care what nobody say. I wear boots now and then. I got that soldier in me, and I'm going to use my defenses for my people, nothing else. We march, not walk. James said, man, hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy is why I haven't been to any Asian convenience in years. It got to me after so many times, subliminal, indirect, and direct. They will blatantly treat you like shit and expect your dollars. Yeah, again, they man, it's evident. You know, we got the receipts. You know, again, Fat Right, good to see you up in here, bro. Good to see you up in here. Raymond say, man, due to our lack of support and show of love, are people still thinking about reparations? These other people deal with us based on the way they see us. We're too divided down to the atomic level. And again, we've said that, we spoke about this before. Now, you know, people can have an opinion about anybody they want, right? You can develop an opinion, be judgmental about somebody all they want, man. But until you start acting like they, you know what I mean, how they perceived it, or, you know, how they thought it to be, or assumed it. When you start acting like that, then that gives them that clarification, that all doubt is removed. You know what I mean? All doubt is removed. So when we act the way we act towards each other, we leave no doubt to them that, hey, man, they don't love themselves. They don't even love each other. So by all means, we're going to treat them the way we see them treating themselves. Crackers told them that. Crackers told, this is what we did to them. This is how good we did it. You know? Just how good we did it. Now, all you got to do is pay attention, do it too. We're going to make sure you get in there, and this is what you do. You continue to do that. Don't befriend them. You don't do them. No, man. You don't treat them with respect. Watch them, because they don't do that with each other. You treat them how they treat themselves. And we be up in arms, not realizing that's some shit we showed them about us. That's why they act the way they act toward us. You know, I think. You know, so yeah. Yep. Chris say, man, Floyd was also robbed by his Israeli accountants. It is ironic. Hey, man, do the sucker. You know, I don't know no other way to put that about Floyd Mayweather. But again, man, listen, real spit. He's not the only one. He's not the only one. There are so many Floyd Mayweathers, man, in entertainment, in whatever industry, man, that it's a shame. It's a shame, man. And they get up and see this, they buck dance, man. Anytime a camera in front of them, they do exactly what the scripts say. They don't deviate from the script. They don't say, well, you know what, man, yeah, but damn, what happened, man, to young Cyrus is just wrong. And we got to do something about this shit. You'll never hear that. They'll say, well, why do you have a gun in the first place? First thing out their mouth. So many of them, man. So many of them, you know. Raymond Cole says, so Floyd is connected with the powers to be. Anyone who prays Israel is held in bondage to that society. I feel these rich blacks have to pay homage to those people, or they lose what they call wealth. See, again, damn, there's a phrase. There's the word right there. There's the word. So we've been led to believe what wealth, well, we've been told what wealth truly or really is, right? Right? Let's be honest. Wealth is having that where you ain't got to worry about a bill. You got stacks of money. That's your wealth. It's all that matter. And we put that above everything, our principles, our character, everything. That's our money is all that. Our money make us look good, handsome, fine, you know. Our money make us bad. I can get somebody to get you with this money. You know what I mean? That's our wealth. That's everything. That's all that matters. This is what we've been taught. And for a reason, our real wealth has nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing to do with that, bro. And most of y'all know this. You know, our riches, man, it's what's in us, is who we are, man, as a people. Gold is not worth more than us. Diamonds, platinum, none of that. No precious metal, no gem. But we've been conditioned to think that it is. In fact, not only that, but they coupled that with putting us in the system where you got to pay for everything. So then, for real, wealth does trump everything, monetarily speaking. So this thing, again, you know, how they get down, man, they get down in so many different ways, man. It's crazy. But the real wealth of the black man and woman got nothing to do with money. Straight up. It just doesn't. But we can't tell our people that. Because they'll say, man, what the fuck, how's that going to pay this rent, man? I want to hear that shit, bud. How's that going to fill up my tank if I got to get my baby to the doctor? They're not trying to hear that. So wealth is everything they say it is, bud. Give me them Benjamins. In fact, I need a $500 bill down there. Give me the money. That's all that matters. You can't tell them no different. Wealth is tied into capitalism. So you can't tell a man or a woman, black man or woman, that your wealth is what's in you. You know what I mean? It's your character, man. You know, it's how you see yourself, how you represent yourself, it's how you view others. You know what I mean? You can't tell us that, man. I ain't got no gang of money, but I tell you what, I do know I'm wealthier than a whole lot of motherfuckers, man. A whole lot of individuals. I'm worth more than all of them, man. I know this. You know what I mean? Ain't got nothing to do with money. Ain't got nothing to do with money. It's everything to do with acknowledging, man, or even if I don't know it all, wanting to get to the point to where I know who the hell I am, where I come from, and what my life is really all about. You know what I mean? What's my purpose? Getting to that. That's my wealth, man. You know? But we can't tell our people that shit, man. We actually think that. Without money, we're nothing. We're nobody. We've been told that. We believe it. The agents just told us that, and others. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't got shit. Y'all ain't worth nothing. Then we bring it over here, and then and we believe that shit. We got people, man, who got monetary wealth, but broke as a motherfucker, man. As human beings, broke, destitute, man. Ain't got shit, Ain't got shit, man. I don't know. All right, Raymond Skull, man, let me read that again. So Floyd is connected with the powers to be. Anyone who prays Israel is held in bondage to that society. I feel these rich blacks have to pay homage to those people. You're going to say people seem to be scared of elevation and success. We can accomplish whatever we focus on. That young brother had a great idea. I think it was very stellar. But see, again, now we get, and not only have a lot of what we tend to think is good and right, whatever, been instilled in us is just absolutely ass backwards. But the fact that they put mistrust in each and every one of us, they've taught us not only how to hate ourselves, mistrust each other, but how to kill each other and not feel no way about it. We learned that shit from them. So when a young brother or sister come up with a grand idea, I mean, come on, for real, right? $1? $1 tomorrow from every black. $1. Come on, man. But we got those of us or those amongst us be like, I ain't getting nobody shit. But you'll leave a gratuity at a restaurant that's astronomical, for some shit that probably got spit in, boogers in it or something, somebody's dandruff, but you'll break that off. You pull up on a dirty old bum white guy, woman, and give him $5. You leave a tip at a store or whatever. Get to the, side piece, whatever. Give it to the weed store, whatever. Liquor store, whatever. But you won't give $1. $1. $1 1 month. The trust thing. We've been divided, man. You divide, you rule. So brothers and sisters won't have enough wherewithal to come together and say, okay, I got $1 for this goddamn project. I'm not going to get no black and mild today. I'm going to make sacrifice. Again, no sacrifice, no victory, man. Real spit. I'm not going to get the mics. I'm not going to get, the 8th or whatever it is. I'm going to get his dollar first. We won't do that. And let's be real. In some instances, we had the wrong people talking for us, talking about what they're going to do for us, how they're going to represent us, take care of us. Sometimes be the wrong people. They just say the right shit. You know what I mean? Sometimes, we trust the wrong people, and we have to admit, a number been done on each and every one of us, man, in some respect, form or fashion, at some time in our life. We've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, conned, fucked over, worked, you name it. So there that trust issue is. So we can't get $58 million in 1 month because there's an issue. But boy, the goddamn government to take more than $1 from your check every pay period for you even see it. Won't give you no control over it until you get his first. Here's a situation where you got control over your shit and you still won't do it. Something wrong with us. Something wrong with us. When we pay taxes, when legitimately, by law, we're not supposed to pay taxes. Certain taxes, we're not supposed to pay, but we're paying them. And we get that shit. It's more than $1. In fact, you give them that shit, man, every paycheck, every pay period. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that. You ain't saying, man, I don't trust the government. You know, the government done you worse than any of your brothers and sisters. It killed more of your people than any of us done killed our people. But we trust them to take our money. We trust the banks who finance a lot of this shit that's worked against us. We don't say shit, we give them the money. But when we get to talking about doing right for each other, trying to establish something, first thing out of our mouth is, I ain't giving the ninja nothing. I don't trust that ninja. F that witch. Da 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 da. That divine conquer shit coming to play quick. Bam. Boom. Brothers like, nah, man, fuck him, fuck her. Da 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 da. No, we see this man every day, all day in the streets, everywhere else. Young gang bangers be like, nah, man, fuck him. I'm gonna do this, that, da da da. The police that just passed by you either shot somebody and killed somebody you know, or beat somebody up, brutalized them, or took them to jail on some bullshit, planted something on them, and you let them pass by every damn day. Every damn day. And we be talking that shit. I'm just saying. Young brother got a great idea that could empower the people, that can actually start something, you know. And the guy that's interviewing him, and I don't think he was saying that just to be an interviewer, to be the devil's advocate type of get out. No, I saw it in his face. He don't believe that shit one bit because he one of them mugs, man. He one of them brothers, man. You know, just having to have a podcast. But nah, he ain't nah. I get it. But I'm willing. Hey, man, let's see what it do. The motherfucking dollar, man. See what the fuck it do. And we got to get off the shit we on, man. We got to get off the shit we on so we can get shit done. And again, we passed a boycott. That shit, I don't even look at it like that no more. We on group economics and wealth transfer. Why? To do for black people so we have our own. How we go about doing that? Hey, man, let's get this money together, man. We get this money together. We leverage it to our benefit. What are we going to do with it? We need to create first a financial institution or establishment that's beholden to whatever banking laws exist. FDIC, the NCUA, you know, banks and credit unions. Hey, who get these loans? All those who have viable ideas and businesses and shit. You know what I mean? That shit won't take long, man. I'm serious about that. That shit won't take long at all. I watched the movie, man. I think this about 2 months ago, brothers started their own damn bank. It was down south somewhere. Man, them brothers cleaned up, but they used, honestly, seriously speaking, they used another individual from a different demographic to get it up and running. The bank was viable, though. It was the shit. And then they end up taking ownership. They moved the middleman out the way. This is our bank. And then the shit that followed, you know, you can guess at it. You know what I mean? You can guess at it. And that was what the government did to them. Knowing what we know, and what we do know is we can establish anything we want. It's already been done. The receipts, man. Banks, hospitals, schools, any institution or industry we want to stop, we can do that. It's been done. Our forefathers and mothers, man, our people done it already. And as a result, we know what the mistakes are. We don't have to follow. We don't have to see those same mistakes take place. But the fact of the matter is, we got the wherewithal to do what we want to do if we decide to do it. Forget the naysaying and shit. You know, forget all this other shit, man. And let's get on our game. Because at this juncture, man, it's just us. All right, we're doing without because we said, okay, we want to stack our bread and do for us. Okay, that's great. But what is the next move? And I'm just saying, man, we have to establish a financial institution so that this money that we're not spending with these people has somewhere to go, to where it can not only gain and grow interest for the individual, but also the bank, so that gives them seed money to create more shit. That should be the agreement with any established financial institution. We get up and running. Any interest made on this money, yeah, let's say a certain percentage the bank could keep, but the rest, like a hedge fund or something, we're gonna build that, and we're gonna put that towards this, and that. Shit, I don't think this shit is rocket science, man. I think it's just a matter of inspiration, aspiration, motivation, a whole lot of shit. It's just really worth it. That's a no-brainer. Is it really worth it? It's a no-brainer. We want leverage to help defend us when the shit really get rough, because it's about to. We got to get our shit together, man, financially speaking. We got to get, and I'm telling you, that's what hey, man. Think about it. All right, man. I got another clip, man, and I'm going to read some more of these comments. Now, this sister was very impressive. I don't know if I played this last week. I don't think I did, but it's a 2-minute clip. I want to share this with y'all, man. Again, hey, man, ain't nobody like us, man. And I'm telling y'all, man, we don't need nobody but who the hell we got, us. Real shit, man. We don't need nobody for nothing. And I know a lot of y'all, some of y'all say, yes, we do. Yeah, but we don't, man. No, we don't. We just been led to believe that we do. That's part of that conditioning, that indoctrination. We've been encoded with bullshit. They need us, man. We don't need them. I've been saying this for months now. We never needed them. We were just fooled to think and believe that we did. And they got us like that by using all sorts of different distractions and putting shit in front of us and, beliefs, whatever. We never needed them, man. And we still don't. Them bastards need us. I'm just saying. All right, get a bar of this right here, y'all. And I think this is some tight shit. We might have one more after this. And not, we're going to call it a night.
I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. Slavery never left us. It just evolved. Capitalism is now what it's called, got my people brainwashed. I'm talking living and dying by these jobs. Plantations turned corporations. Cotton fields turned into warehouses or office spaces. They selling dreams of financial freedom with the price of your time. Like, I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, but my baby is turning 5. And I know you said during peak season, there's no days off, but how do you expect me to tell my child the jobs don't care about memories? That they'll work you until you're just a memory and post your position opening before your obituary? Tell me what's freedom when rent got you rationing on the first? When your labor makes billions for your company, but your check don't even cover your hearse? Tell me what's freedom when you can't even afford to walk out that door, can't afford to quit. Because debt will come for you just as quick as that whip and master. Don't care if you got your master's. The only thing you're mastering is the art of the employee. Trained to put the plantation's needs before me. Certified to people please to save my humanity. Trading passions for paychecks, dreams for nightmares, freedom for fake security. Yeah, we all a big happy family until that budget gets tight. So Congress can't make a decision. Now you got to lean on your community just to feed your kids at night. How I give you 20 years of my life? Miss birthdays, suffer back pains and sleepless nights just to get replaced by someone you paying half the price. Tell me I'm not in chains when every time I hear that alarm clock ring, I can feel the dopamine leave my brain. Tell me I have control when my freedom lies on the accrual rate of my PTO. 12 years of school being told to dream big just as long as it's not bigger than my cubicle. Tell me why my people chasing the weekends like salvation, finding their happiness on hourly occasions, praying Friday come fast just to resurrect from exhaustion, only to die again Monday morning. Is this the American dream, the land of the free? Or are we just the slaves who didn't know they were slaves? I mean, they dress up our chains with benefits, salaries, and fancy names, so it gotta be okay. But why they teach us about everything else in school except how to be financially free? Why was everything about where to invest your time into instead of where to invest your money? Why was the rule of 72 not a part of the curriculum? Half the people hearing this don't even know what that is, but best believe just as my parents, I'm gonna teach my kids college ain't a golden ticket to freedom. Go after whatever it is you dreaming. I refuse to let this be my life. I'd rather God take me tonight than to live another day shackled to this life. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Slavery never left us. It just evolved. But it's up to you to take that distorted lens off. Thank you.
Man, in a nutshell, all right? Yeah, she said something. We were just talking about group economics, the wealth transfer, rule 72. That's banking. So the rule is, let me get this right, because I just checking it out last week. It's a formula in banking. 72 should be, I think, the percentage of what you invest from your check. Hold on, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna want to mess it up, but I want to apply it to what we're talking about in terms of financial institutions and shit, our own shit, and have them regulated as such, you know. What is rule 72 in banking? Okay, so the rule of 72 is a quick mental math trick for estimating how long it takes money to double at a given fixed interest rate. Divide 72 by the annual interest rate as a whole number. Example, at 6% interest, 72 divided by 6 equals 12 years to double your money. It works the same in reverse. Divide 72 by the number of years you want money to double in, and you'll get the interest rate you'll need. It's just an approximation, most accurate in the 6 through 10% range, but it's handy for quickly comparing savings accounts, CDs, or investments without needing a calculator. Now, the rule 72 is something a lot of people use. They don't teach, a lot of rich people actually use it first. They don't teach us this in school because they don't want us to understand how our money really works or how we can make it work for us, especially when it comes to interest or shit, you know? But just imagine that we establish our shit the way we say we need to, creating our own financial institutions and making sure them institutions understand that the rule applied to everybody who brings money and deposit it in that institution. That's how the rule go. Or even better one if one exists. Not only that, but interest, man, as it compounds, as it grows, we want it understood that, hey, man, the bank only going to get, and this is our bank, a certain percentage of that. The rest of that, it goes into other investments, hedge funds, shit like that. A lot of shit we weren't taught for a reason. That's my whole point. Now back to the poem the sister did. That's the hardest one I've heard of late. And she was feeling every word, man. I was feeling her feel it. So I hope y'all caught that, man. That shit was strong, man. It was strong. That's the state of affairs we're in. We want to say we free. We want to say, oh, man, I moved out of the city. I'm in the country, on the countryside. I got 20 acres. I grow my own food, blah, blah, blah. When reality is, man, you just moved out of the range of people. You haven't moved out of the system. You're still in the system, and a lot I know will contest that. It's like, what you mean by no? You're still in the system, bro. If you don't have it set up to where you're generating your own water, your own electricity, you are processing your own oil for gasoline or whatever the case may be, man, then you're in the system. You're on cell phones, laptops. We're in the system. We're part of the system. We're participating in the system. And if that's the case, then we're still slaves to it. Facts, man. Facts, you know. If you're paying taxes, if any of that, that's the system. That's the system. I'm just saying, y'all, we ain't, you know, ain't none of us free yet. Ain't none of us free yet. You know, it's going to take a lot of work. All right, Henry, man. Sorry to took so long to get to you, bro. Peace and blessings, everyone. Salute, Brother Bud. Salute right back to you, Henry Stella. Good to see you up in here, bro. Good to see you up in here. Fat Rat Playboy say, man, the proof that our enemies' mobilization to disconnect our people from their very own vetted and verified leadership is, never mind, we don't need to reinvent any wheel or take flight without a pilot and an itinerary. Let me read that again, though. The proof that our enemies' mobilization to disconnect our people from their very own vetted and verified leadership is, never mind, we don't need to reinvent any wheel or take flight without a pilot and an itinerary. Yeah. All right, Eric Reed, Sin Man Speak, brother. We make them rich. It's about time for us to help us, brother. Be one, y'all. I'm gonna say something, and I know that sometimes, you know, and I don't, again, unapologetically, but respectfully, I say shit because I'm speaking my truth, and I don't want to be the one to be apologizing for, even if I haven't, if I got it wrong, you know what I mean? Yeah, somewhere wrong. Then I say, okay, well, my bad. Excuse me for that. I will apologize. But in the mindset I'm in, the frame of mind I'm in, based upon what I know to be my truth and experience, I say what I say. You know what I mean? A lot of our problem, man, again, let's go to this disconnect we have. And Fat Rat just said it, in a lot of ways, we are disconnected. How did that happen, though? Again, you know, we talking about what's at play. There's so much at play that helped to create the disconnect that, you know, a lot of us, we take it that they did it. They disconnected us. When in reality, it was done. And it was done so often, you know, and it's done in so many different ways that we just disconnected. We did that. We did that. We disconnected to connect to something that really has no being on or bearing on who we really are and what our get down supposed to be about. The disconnect happened for a lot of reasons we don't even understand, but they do. You know, and again, we blame the disconnect on others when the reality is we did that. It's like when we blame the Asians, the Mexicans, the whites, the Jews, anybody, when they said, look at them, we hate them. Blah, blah, blah. We did that. It was our disconnect from one another that we exposed this to people. And we want to be on their necks about some shit that we did. We did, you know? We just decided to like, hey, man, it's easier this way. You know, we disconnected and then connected into something that I think for a lot of us just gave us those feel-good moments, you know, had us thinking that our spirits were being enlightened and that, you know, a whole lot of whatever, man, is necessary, you know, was ordained. A lot of us trusted when, you know, the master said, we have manifest destiny. Our God said we can do this. He has blessed us with this privilege to be your masters. And a lot of us still to this day believe that shit. And I say that because we still believe the same religions they do. We worship the same gods. We tend to think through rose-colored glasses or a lens that was really, you know, that was made for them, not for us, but we see through their lens, you know. There's a lot at play, man, that makes us, that separates us, man, and we're not going to get to that until we really, again, man, there are some great sacrifices going to have to be made, man. I think, you know, there's a lot that's going to have to be sacrificed just so that we get to where we're supposed to be, because I'm telling y'all, what I think is going to happen in terms of this transition, we're going to be vying against each other. Even once, let's say we establish whatever we establish, it's going to be, you know, separation still if we don't get to the point that the only thing that matter to us is our unity, our love for one another. That creates the cohesiveness, man, to unify us. That's it. We can't depend or say it's going to be on one God or another, because this, for whatever reason, they're not seeing the same. You know, let's be realistic. And I'm just saying, man, for the love and sake of the people, it should be love first, black first, that brings us together. It's just me, you know. It's me, man. Chris said, man, we can't open a bodega. Real shit. But all the bodegas we see that I've seen, especially back on the East Coast, I don't know. I don't want to say there's not black bodegas. I can't say that, but you know, most of them I see, you know, it's what I see, you know. Thanks for that comment, Chris. Henry said, man, don't forget the black-owned gas stations in North Long Beach on 68th Street and Long Beach Boulevard. And yeah, that was not in my see, you know, we were talking about these AIs, and a lot of us take them for granted to be right all the time. Not saying I do, not saying anyone does, but a lot of us do. And they give you in small print, hey, I can be wrong sometimes, you know. But yeah, I asked specifically, well, no, I left out Long Beach. But shit, it should have been in there. Okay, and that gas station again it's in North Long Beach on 68th Street and Long Beach Boulevard. So that's 2. All right. That's 2 of 29 gas stations throughout the country that's black owned. And you got a total of 145,000 gas stations throughout the country. And only 29 are owned and ran by black people. Ed Reed said, man, it's called plantation psychosis. We need to get out of that way of thinking, and we all shall win. Facts. I agree. But again, now let's keep something in mind. See, we've been conditioned to react a certain way to religion, and that don't matter. It don't matter what religion, just religion, period. If there's a God involved, and you know, mom, then listen, man. Again, I say this respectfully. All the religions have done us harm. Straight up. Have done us harm. All of them. You know? Now, for some of us, we've been led to think or believe that religion was part of the mainstay in terms of slavery. You know? Master, you know, whipped us, stabbed us, shot us, hung us, holding the Bible. You know, others in other lands have, you know, whipped us, shot us, killed us, enslaved us, holding the Quran. You know, let's just be realistic. You know, all 3 major religions have done us an injustice. Let's be real. Now, I don't know who to attribute that to or what. I'm just saying, from my perspective, okay, then something's wrong. Something's wrong with religion. You know, now we're going to get to where we need to be. I'm telling y'all, man, it's going to be an issue because religion at some point is going to come into play. And that's going to throw a wrench in the whole thing. So y'all heard it here first. I'm willing to bet on that. I'm willing to bet on that. I would not like to see that occur, but I'm willing to bet that's going to come into play. And it's just to vie for leadership or to be in control or to say this plan is better than that one and this is the way, rather than that story is going to come into play. And it shouldn't. Only thing should come into play, man, is us unifying first. Let's unify first. I would like to think it'll work out that way. We'll unify first, and then we'll hash out whatever all that other stuff, you know, entails or becomes. You know what I mean? You appreciate that, Eric Reed. You say it's called plantation psychosis. We need to get out of that way of thinking, and we all shall win. Facts. Chris said, if a black man opens a bodega every day, gonna want credit from you. Every day, yeah. Eric Reed said, man, I'd rather spend my funds with my folks. I'm with the blackness. Here, man. I love my people. Real spit, bro. We need to start spreading our information with us. That's it. That's another thing. Chris going to say, man, black people are being driven out of the business sector. Real shit. Remember they bought BET? Yeah, but he didn't have to sell BET, bro. Any black business that was doing, they didn't have to do that, but you have to think, why did he do it? Was he threatened? Y'all remember when Bill Cosby wanted to buy NBC, Viacom and NBC? Y'all think back on that. Think about what happened to Bill Cosby's family. Everything. He was being taught a lesson. The brother who had BET, almost said Larry Johnson. Brother had to sell BET, man. He could have actually made BET, man, for real black entertainment television. He could that if you can imagine, it's like the tree, man. It's the root to the whole thing. It could have spread it, man. Could have touched everything, anything. Could have went into sports, whatever. I think he was coerced to sell it, and I think he sold it for maybe 1 billion. Maybe 1 point something, no more than 2, if I remember correctly. I could be mistaken, but I thought it wasn't. I said, "Oh, you got played." That's what I said. You know, BET, you got played, bro. And speaking of the Essence Festival, that's in the shambles now because whoever ran that decided that they were going to allow what a lot of our people nowadays calling tethers take more of the spotlight. And when Essence was Essence Festival was geared toward Black Americans. Now here's again an example of how divided we are. You know, them over there, they come over, they can't stand us. They think like the rest of them. That model minority myth that they got going on in their heads about us. We're lazy, we're this, we're that. Oh, I came over and immediately I got a business and not understanding the real politics and, you know, the experience that we've had over here. You know, a lot of them just think like that, you know. And so blacks as a result, you know, from America be like, all right, man, y'all, you know, yeah, it's just, you know, for whatever reason, man, it's a whole lot of shit in the mix, man, that keep it messy. You know, I'm creeping, you know, even there's this debate starting. And again, it just shows me there's a whole lot of shit people in our mix about FBAs and how they think, you know, and how, hey, it's this way or no way, and da 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 da. You know, and I'm saying, man, wait a minute, y'all. Listen, let's not get lost in the sauce, man. Only thing should matter is black first, man. And if that's an issue, and if there's an issue based upon Black Americans, then so be it. Then get our shit together first. I don't have an argument with that. In fact, I actually agree with it. But I'm not agreeing with it to say, man, we disown our relatives, our people. No matter how far separated we are, a lot of people want to say, oh, man, we didn't come from Africa. We came from Africa. Period, point blank. All right. And that argument, man, look, man, that's where our ancestors come from. Those of us who are here today, everybody came before us, came for them, and them came from there, man. All right. So, yeah. But we got this thing about us, man, where we just own some, at every opportunity, we own some bullshit. And I'm saying this about us in terms of our brothers from across the water or anywhere else. The same way I'm saying about dealing with these demographics who got these issues with us. Let's not focus on that. Let's do what we got to do, man. Let's do what we got to do, man. We can keep silent about the other shit too. It's time to address it. Right now, this is our objective. This should be our goal. Our attention should be placed on this, not nothing else. And I'm saying that because, again, it's going to come. It's going to come. I said they're going to come out the woodwork. These Asians, now they with this shit talking about trying to get some new bill passed in that anti-Asian law where they going to make a mug where you can't boycott them. If you do, that's racism. What the, who the hell are you, man? Anyway, you know, this is what we're up against. We can't focus on any of that. We need to know that we got to focus on us, man. All this noise and shit from the peripherals and shit. Let it be. We don't need it, man, because it's just a distraction. If it's that, even if it's religion, it's a distraction from our goals and our issue. It's going to distract us, slow us down, divide us more. All this shit, man, is one big, it's a playbook. These are plays from playbooks, man. This shit is old, man. Old. All right, that's all I got to say, man. Yeah, we need to start spreading this information, though. That's important. Chris said, man, Black people are being driven out of the business sector. Remember, they bought BET. Back to that. And yet, you know, so this 2026, and it's funny that, well, it ain't funny. I'm just, you know, speaking not literally. Last year, 2025, when they fired all them sisters and brothers in DC alone, buku people, man, Blacks, the most educated demographic or gender in the country, Black women, were released, were fired from federal jobs. Over 300,000. Over. And in fact, I've read numbers where it was like 500-something thousand people, not just in DC, but wherever from the federal government, put it like that. Then you look at what's happening in the military. They're kicking brothers and sisters out the military too, y'all. They're making sure they don't get promoted, that their rank don't go up. All this shit ain't for nothing, you know? All this shit ain't for nothing. Those jobs that our sisters and brothers lost when Trump got in office last year, that were government jobs, think about this shit. They were removed for a reason, not just to take the jobs from them, but because of the access they had to programs. Y'all didn't see this shit, man. You know, if they not in that seat, they can't stop something. A thought, a thought of playing a program, they got to remove them so that your shit goes smoothly. I don't know. That's just, Anyway, I'll move on, man. Eric Reed said, man, is there one in Glendora? A gas station in Glendora? Never heard of that. I heard about Long Beach just last week, actually. All right, people can do it. We can do it, people. We come from kings and queens, gods and goddesses. We have the God gene, man. That's what I say. I trust that. And I say it in such a way where I'm speaking in terms of spirituality, whatever that power is, that energy, that force, I'll acknowledge that like that. We have the God gene, man. We are, if such a thing, the chosen. We hear it a lot from other people, and we know that to be a lie, But yeah, we come from not just kings and queens, man. We come from the source. The melanin says that, man. So there that is. Uh-oh. Fat Right said, man, the new movie by Steven Spielberg, Disclosure. Again, they are in our faces about our own technology. And the highlight is our blindness. Looking for a new Disclosure. Yeah, Spielberg. Damn it. Gotcha. I'm on that. Gas station, stores, shop, etc. Generational wealth or generation wealth, y'all. This is the business. Rakufu, late. Being late is better than not showing up at all. Better late than never, as the saying go, bro. Good to see you, loved one. Then welcome to the RGC. Peace, blessings to the family. And shout out, man, to Under the Groove Podcast and the RGC family, man. Each and every one of you. Love to see y'all here, man. Love to see y'all up in here. You're going to say, Rakufu, the stands erupt in a bitter roar, a toxic wave from sound to floor, where eyes look down and whistles bend, and human grace is forced to fend. All right, man. Steven Spielberg. Okay, I'm gonna read them as we go. Need some more. That's right. Powers in the people, y'all. Spielberg is a Navy intelligence operative using theater to control the narrative of Asiatic Black technology. All right, that was from Fat Rat. Kimberly Mitchell say, Hoover, hey, real ones, I don't know how to get back in the groove of life. Oh, man. She said, I lost my only big sister, Dee Dee, Sunday morning, feeling lonely, but I'm here with my Hoovers. Love your fam. Love our fam. Love your fam. That's true. Hey, our condolences. I'll speak for me and my family here. Kim, you already know. Our condolences, sister. Our condolences. And bathe yourself, man, in the memories and shoot. Those moments y'all had kept you smiling, laughing. You feel me? And just know, we here for you. All right. I hate to hear that. We're here for you, sister. And our condolences in the realest sense. In the realest sense, man. Shit. I don't even know where to go from there, man, to tell you the truth. Yeah, nothing nice about that, y'all. And get you to thinking about loved ones and we done lost. And get talking about, it was a time and this, that, no, man, I ain't trying to hear that. I wasn't ready to let go, I hate to hear that, sister. But one thing for sure, I know we got some sisters, some queen sisters up in here. They may not be able to fill that void, but listen, these some beautiful sisters up in here, Kimberly. And I'm pretty sure you could tap in with each and every one of them. And that just made me think of C1, man. Ain't heard from her, ain't heard about her in like 2 weeks. Love is going out to you, sis. You as well, C1. Love is going out to your sister. Make you rest well. Lisa Moore said, Kimberly, my condolences to you and the family, Queen. The Most High. Hold on. The Most High don't. Okay. I want you to think. I want to think you're going to say, don't make mistakes. Okay. Rakufu said, word of the day is recognizance. Oh, excuse me, cognizance. Thought we had that last week. All right. I'm going to read these right quick. Lisa Moore said, Kimberly Mitchell, my condolences to you and the family. The Most High is good all the time. Blessings. Lisa Moore send their love out to you. Fat Rat say, Kimberly, my condolences, sis. Keep her alive in your heart and mind. There you go. There you go. All right, Poke, I see you up in here, man. What's up with it, loved one? Yeah. Fat Rat said, man, love you, bro. Kimberly lost a sister. All right, Pokes. He said his RIP to Kimberly sis. Damn, it's a lot of people in here tonight. I didn't know all this comments. Fat Rat say, when a man falls down, do we investigate whether he was tripped? Cause or simply pinpoint that he's down. In fact, we don't volunteer our services. We were kidnapped and butchered by the same savage. Who now holds the controls over our protracted enslavement. He educated us, and we wonder why our education fails to overcome our collective struggle. There you go. IMA said, man, what's the word, Big Groove? We talking unity. That's what we do here, bro, on the Groove Podcast TV. That's it, man. We talking about B1 equals black first, man. We're talking about taking care of one another, loving each other, respecting each other, especially our women and our children first. We're wasting a lot of time tripping and focusing on each other and what we ain't got, what we got, what we did, what we didn't do. How I look as opposed to how you look. What I said as opposed to what you said. What I think, what you think. We got to get out of this, man. We got to get it together. We up against it. We losing people every day, man. For what? For what? Coldest part about that, we doing this to each other. And when we know everybody outside us is doing it to us too. And yet we rather focus on each other and trip on one another than deal with, confront our issues with everybody else. And I'm saying in terms of, when I say confront, that means we got to stop our BS so we can do what we're supposed to do for us. Yeah, it's always going to be that on this Get Down, bro. Unity, love and respect, man, identity. You know, that's it, man. We all we got. We can't say this enough. We are all we have, man. The black man and the black woman is the most hated human on the face of the earth by people who don't even know why they hate us, man. Let's put it like that. We're the most hated of human beings. And I had some more to say to that, but I'm not going to do that. But here we are, man. And most of what exists is because of us, you know. I'll say it like that, you know. And yet everybody hates us. Majority of us don't know why. The majority of them don't know why, but they do. What have we done to anybody to deserve this hate? It's high time, man. We start dealing with us. We get our stuff together. We don't have to focus on nobody and nothing else, just us. And I'm telling you, that happens, man. All that that shit gonna go away. That's gonna go away, especially when they see we not doing that to each other no more. We're not hating each other. They'll see why they thought they hated us. We'll know why. And that shit we see from everybody, man, is just a hate for self to begin with. They see us, they see themselves. They hate what they see. Yeah. We got to come together, man. This shit is old. This is not the day, the time, or the place to be doing none of what we're doing to each other. Because I'm telling you, all we're doing is setting a precedent. We're giving other people license to act towards us the way we act towards one another. That's got to stop. That has to stop. And the only way that's going to stop is if we come together. We have to accept each other, man. I don't care about the religions, the hues, the different shades, the colors, you know, how big you is, how tall, how short, how fat. You know, none of that matters. Or it should not matter over the fact that we're all we got, man. We were created to love each other, man. That's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah, we talking unity, man. We talking about the people waking up now, you know, coming together so we can do the business of the black man and woman here in America. That's it. Fat Rat said the set leaders did us direct harm, bub. Yet we have managed to forgive them. True. And at the same time, bro, and I'm saying this because I mean it. I had those conversations with them. I do. I had the conversations with others who come under me in our generation. I said, man, nah, man, the set fucked us up, and we fucked up those, you know, that came after us, you know. We got G dudes, man, to this day, we honor, we pay homage to. When the fact is, they set us up. All right. I'm no different. I got cats that came after me. I set them up, man. I set them up. I acknowledge this shit now. Time I see him, I say, man, fuck that. I fucked up. This ain't it. This ain't it, man. We were set up, we were tricked. And as a result, we set up and tricked others. We are all accountable. We're all culpable to this. Get down, Fat Rat. So when I be talking to the loved ones and I'd send messages and direct, you know, statements to G's all the time. I don't care where they from. We are obligated, man, to fix this, bro. That's my stand. I don't mince words. I said this a long time ago. We have an obligation to fix this. That's the truth, you know, because we fucked up. We were harmed. What they say, hurt people. We were harmed. We harmed others. We were misled, misguided. We did the same shit. Whenever I have an opportunity to say that, like now, and I say exactly what I'm saying now. This is our fault. We supposed to fix this. By any means necessary, man. We supposed to fix this. I ain't missing words on that, bro, because I know this is a tragedy, man. This is just, it's wrong. It's wrong, bro. This is our fault. And I'm speaking now directly to my generation, that generation I come from. So all G's, they started a lot of shit, but we took that shit to a place it should have never went. You know, we did the most damage. You know, and so no, man, I'm not cool with none of this. I take full responsibility, Fat Rat. I promise you I do. Every day. I'm not cool with none of this shit, man. My you know, my involvement in it, and it's all bad, bro. It's all wrong. All we got to do is sit back and look for real. Just look at what we write. Look what we brought to the table. What was offered to us and what we offered back. None of it is any good, bro. I hear you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear. You know, and let's be realistic. Not only did the set leaders, those who came before us, do us direct harm, we learned that shit and did the same thing. They're learning this shit and they're doing the same thing. Look at this pattern. Look at this thing. It just keeps going. We got to stop it. We can't leave it up to these, you know, that it ain't going to happen if we leave it up to them. It's not going to happen. There are individuals, man, who was in this shit, who started, created, still live. They know this shit wrong, man. We got to fix this shit. We got to fix this shit. I hear you though, bro. Alonzo, what it do, love? One Piece prosperity. You say, man, we are spiritual people, not religious. I agree. However, we know that a lot of religion has taken over or taken place of the spiritual self. A lot of people are religion minded, not spiritual. We know this. Facts. You know, I'm just saying. But you know what you're saying. I agree with you. IMA said, man, we got to go back to create more Black Wall Streets like Tulsa, Durham, North Carolina, and such. That's the whole purpose, y'all. So when we're talking about group economics, or when we're talking about wealth transfer, when we're talking about spending our money with us, that's what that's supposed to lead to. We pivot to that. We pivot to, we already have the receipts, the blueprint. Tulsa, Durham, there were hundreds of other spots all over this country that did the same thing. So it's not like it's impossible. And they did it in a time and era where, hey, man, it was just, your life was in the balance just for even doing that. We don't have that problem. They did that shit. They did it so well, so perfectly, that them crackers realized, oh, man, damn, we played out there. Let's go shut them down. So it ain't like it can't be done. It can be done. We just got to be willing to do this shit. Again, man, without the sacrifices, man, we're not going to be victorious. No sacrifice, no victory, man. That's where we at. Fuck calling any of this a boycott. Damn that, man. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing no more. For anyone who would harm us or try to prove that we're nothing, together or otherwise, we're not going to show them shit. It's not our job to prove to them nothing. It is our responsibility, man, as a people to work, take care of each other. That's it. That's our mission. And everybody, again, that got something against us, man, then we know. We don't spend with y'all, man. We'll figure our own shit out. We don't hate you. Ain't got nothing to do with that. We love us. We love us enough to do our thing now. We don't need them, man. They need us. Facts. They need us. From the city to government, the whole nine. They need us. All of them. Republicans, Democrats, the Independents, Green Party, I don't care. MAGA, they need us. We don't need them, man. And that's what they're hoping we don't realize. And this is why we're supposed to come together, so that we can lace one another, so we can vibe, so them frequencies can start connecting and hitting. Them sparks start getting lit. The spark plugs turn that motor on, that mind on, that spirit. That's what we need, man. Bob Johnson, that was the guy from BET. Cold game we in, y'all. Or Robert Johnson, same thing though, yeah. But again, Ra, IMH, you said we have to train our people to stop selling out. What we have to do, though, if those of us who know better, we have to start working together so that our people who don't know no better, who may be conditioned, indoctrinated, trained to sell out, would see a different image, a different projection of who the hell we really are, what we're really about. That's the only way we're going to change it. See, because the same way they are, the way they are, that was training. You just said it. It's training now, man. We have to train our people all over again, man. But it's going to take those who know better to do this. The example has to be set because that's what they own. They own examples. Negative example, but that's what they own. You know, that's what they own. What they've seen, what they've been hit with, bombarded with. We got to do that. We got to do that for the betterment of those who know what this shit is about, for these babies who don't know. For those who are confused right now, hey, man, we need to focus on what we need to do. And may the ancestors touch them, the gods, whoever, you know, get them to look in the right direction, to think right, you know, be spiritually connected, to come home and get with this, get out. Other than that, man, yeah, like I say, man, sometimes you got to let a laying dog lay. You know, sometimes I don't always agree. I'm not into, I don't think our people are expendable. I just don't, man. But I know at the same time, some of them, we just got to treat them with a long handle spoon. You know what I mean? We can't just interact with them because they can't be trusted. You know, especially those who are doing what they're doing. The worst ones. You're going to say, man, I've been waiting to come out there and politic with y'all about everything going on and where we headed as a family. Just ain't trying to get pressed by young YGs in the process that ain't trying to hear it. We all come from Africa, whether we slave ships or by our own migration. Africa, Akabu land is the motherland. You can boycott anyone quietly. There you go. Don't voice the moves, just make them. Old cycles still turning because we allow it. Cycles, man. Speak truth to power, y'all. Farrah say, nah. Wait a minute, let me get rid of that. Farrah say, nah. Wait a minute, whoa. All right, y'all having conversations. I ain't mad. There's an equivalency between gangs and religions in effect. All right, I may say we got to hold ourselves accountable in the same. We got to see the play where it went sideways. Ain't nothing wrong with unifying and fixing this and still conveying our shit in positive. Who got infiltrated mentally and physically? Okay, Well, then Farrah says there's an equivalency between gangs and religions in effect. All right. I may say the alphabet gangs was playing chess with our culture while we was playing checkers. Folks say I agree with you too, Bub. I may say tribalism always been around, but it's about order, respect, and honor to ourselves and everyone involved around us. Alonzo, appreciate that. He said, great conversation again, RGC. Respect. Much love and respect, y'all. Farrah said, are some of us situated on that creationism versus evolution argument? I hope not. All right. Macaholic. Just imagine if they had the technology we have now back then. They did all those great things with hand tools, no cell phones or anything. Again, y'all, we're not really functioning under necessity. We're functioning because we've been told, hey, this is good to have. You want this. You know, they'll show you some shit. You want Crystal Geyser, you know, fucking water, you know what I mean? But they sell it like that. And they tell us, you know, have us believe we need this shit. You know, a lot of this shit, I don't know, man. I see how they attach shit, especially technology, how they've attached it to our lives to make it seem like it's just mandatory. It's just woefully necessary to have a cell phone, because if not, you're not in contact with your people, your loved ones. Something could happen at any minute. How are you going to be reached? Da, 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 da. I get it. But I'm also pretty sure that a lot of this shit is done, again, man, just to, you know, distract us and keep us the way we are. Hello? All right, that was somebody calling. All right, I didn't know it was this late, y'all. Real spit. Macaholic 10, man, this is the first. Appreciate you up in here, bro. This is Under the Groove Podcast. Hey, everybody, please like, share, follow, and subscribe to this. Get out, all right? Macaholic, again, good to see you up in here. More than welcome to be here. First and foremost, man, just love and respect, man. We don't disrespect. Our brothers come in here, our queens, our sisters, our kings, they come in here, guys and guys, we chop it up. We can agree to disagree respectfully, all right? So that's what this is about, man. We want to see the people come together. I don't care. We don't, you know, we just want to see the people come together, you know? I think it's time. The shift is now, you know what I mean? I think little do a lot of our people realize that the signs are there. It's our time, you know? But there's so much at play that there's a probability that it might not go as it should, because there's so much out there that's working against it, you know? I mean, there's a lot at work, and a lot of which we don't see. And I think that's on purpose, you know, quietly they do these things. They know better than us what the prophecy may be, or whatever, you know what I mean? And they're hard at work, man. But I think that in spite of all that, look who we come from. Look what we've come from. We can overcome we can actually overcome all this shit, man, if we choose to. Again, no sacrifice, no victory, man. We got to be willing to make these sacrifices, you know? We got to be willing to disconnect from certain things, you know, that we know are distractions, that keeps us plugged in, you know, and keeps, you know, us in on the lower rung of the ladder. Let's put it like that. All right. But again, appreciate you up in here, bro. This goes out to the RGC. All love and respect to each and every one of you. Y'all know what it is, man. And if not, it's like this, man. Love yourself so you can love your brother, your sister. I'm telling you. And if you don't love yourself, man, there's nowhere in the world you can love anyone else. Period. But if you love yourself as a black man or a black woman, guess what? You're going to love that black man and that black woman just like you love yourself. That don't mean you're not going to love nobody else, but you're going to have a particular love for your brother and your sister. You're going to see yourself in them. And that's why that's like that. You take care of yourself, take care of others. You cannot take care of you. You cannot support and take care of brother or sister who may need your help, love, and support. It just don't work like that. So take care of yourself so you can take care of others. Love yourself so that you can love your brothers and your sisters, all right? On that note, power is in the people. Can't give power to the people, y'all. We already got it. It was already given to us way before we were born. It's here. We know this, right? Power is in the people, man, all right? You are, you have been, and you will be under the groove. B1 equals black first, y'all. See everyone on the morrow. Peace.